Hi, Mike. Congratulations. Hope it looks like you're having a lovely summer. Nice background there. I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit about what the process was like in coming up with this deal.
It's been pretty easy, to be honest. I think I met with Ken a couple weeks after the season here in Kelowna, and we kind of hashed things out a little bit and kind of had a plan in place. And then obviously my agent and Ken have been in touch over the last few weeks and, kind of worked towards this. And obviously really excited to be back in Edmonton for a couple more years and feel like we have some unfinished business to do. So motivated to, personally play as well as I did last year. And as a team, hopefully we can learn from our mistakes that happened last year and move forward and try and build on something good that happened.
Was there ever a question for you about potentially playing or not playing again next season?
To be honest, not really. I think, after the season that we had as a team and on a personal level, I think I was very motivated to keep playing and feel like I'm in a good spot mentally and physically right now, even at my age. So feel like I still have some unfinished business to do, and I'm really excited to be back and to give it another whirl with the Oilers.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
Mike, you look like you're ready to get the boat out pretty soon with the kids on the lake there.
Yeah, you guys are holding me up from doing that.
I'm sure we are. What about the 2-year contract? I mean, last year you took a 1-year contract. I mean, that must be very satisfying for you at your age to get a 2-year contract.
Yeah, for sure. I think, and I really appreciate obviously the Oilers organization to allow me to continue my playing career and, to chase my ultimate goal, and that's to win a Stanley Cup. And I really feel like, Edmonton is a good fit for me. I think we've built something really good in the last couple of years since I've been there, and feel like we're on the right track to do something special. So I think obviously getting the 2 years is was important to me, and Ken and Kurt Overhart, my agent, they hashed it out and made something work that kind of worked for both sides. And like I said, really thrilled to be back in Edmonton for the next couple of years.
Your game last year was outstanding. You had lots of votes for the Vezina Trophy. How do you feel you played last year, say, compared to some years before last year?
Yeah, I mean, it just seemed like everything clicked last year. The consistency was back where I, felt like it needed to be. I think years prior, I don't think it was necessarily they were terrible years. It just last year was, an above average year for I think anybody in the league. So I think, that'll be the bar that I've set, and I feel like I can still play at that level. And being one more year older won't deter me from being motivated to be a really good player in the league and help this team have success.
Daniel Andrew Bowman, The Athletic.
Hey, Mike, you had obviously, as Jim just said, you had one of your best seasons of your career at age 39. So I'm just wondering what's next for you? How can you have an even better year in 21-22?
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I'm very motivated to keep it going. I don't want to just stop at one good year. Late in my career, I want to, be a big part of this team's success moving forward in the next couple of years, and feel like I can still, play a huge role in helping the Oilers, do well and win games, and be a big part of why the team is going to win. And I know from talking to Ken that he's got some things to do and positions to fill, but I think we're doing, they're doing everything they can to make this team better and make it a competitive team and to improve on, what we did last year. And that's the kind of organization you want to be a part of. You want to be a part of a team that wants to win every game. And that's where my mindset is right now. I'm focused this summer to come in and be ready from the get-go and play a lot of important games for the club this year.
Mike, you were pretty open about last year being pretty challenging in the sense that you weren't, your family wasn't around and you missed them, obviously. And I'm wondering if you have, as a family, if you have plans to kind of be together this year. I know there's probably some uncertainties, and if you can be together, how that might help your overall, mental status and whatnot for the coming year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously being away from your family for that long is not ideal. I think probably I'm not the only one that had to do it, and I'm sure there's other professions that have to do it also. So there's obviously no poor me, but it was, it was a difficult situation, for my wife and the kids, and so be it. But they were in a good place here in Kelowna. They were in a school that was, open all year round. They were playing hockey, so it was fairly normal life here in Kelowna. So it made it a little bit easier in the aspect of I knew kind of they were all good, and I was just kind of looking after what I needed to look after. But saying that, the day I got home from after we got eliminated this year, I told, we kind of had a family meeting, and I told the kids and that, Dad wouldn't be away for that long a period of time ever again. So I think we'll definitely be back in Edmonton as a family this year, and the kids will be excited about, being able to see some games, hopefully, and be around the guys again, and hopefully, join in the excitement of, of a team that, should have a really good year.
Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mark.
I remember talking to, I think it was Ray Whitney, I'm trying to think, and he talked about how as he got older in his career, he figured out the different things you had to do to be a successful older player. Like, it's not the same, right? You don't train the same. You don't do the same things as when you're 27. Is there some of that for you? Have you figured out how to be a successful, high 30s goalie? And how much different is that than what you used to be when you were, 28, 29?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you ever really figure it out, but it's kind of like golf, I guess. As soon as you think you got it, then the golf gods bang you down pretty quick. So I think it's something that it's always a work in progress for me. I think it's obviously the experience that I've had throughout the course of my career has, played dividends and being able to play at a high level, at my age still. But I feel like, every year is different. Every game's different. Obviously I've, the training aspect has changed. The mental capacity has improved, and, but I'm still as motivated as I was as a 26-year-old to win hockey games and to be a part of a winning team and an organization. And, I think the big thing is you don't take anything for granted at this point in my career. I just remember being, first year in the league and how fast it's gone by, and the limited chances you have to win the Stanley Cup. And that's the ultimate goal. So whatever I need to do, to help this team do that, I'm all in. And that's the last kind of thing I need to check off on my playing career. So whatever I can do to be the best player I can, I'm going to do it.
So guys in your position, you're not just a goalie, you're a leader on this team, and certainly us, the media, see an attitude and a sort of a mental approach that this team can use, Tell me about walking the line between, you can't just be a leader, you got to be a good goalie, right? You can't just talk, you got to play. Is there a line there? Can you, if let's say they bring another goalie and you're playing 40 games, can you still bring everything else that you bring as you did as a starter last year?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been through a lot of different situations in my career that have allowed me to, to be a leader off the ice and, to be a good goalie on the ice. And that's not going to change this year because I'm 1 year older. So I think you gain experiences throughout the course of your career that, are either, negative at the time, but help you in the long run, or, good situations that have gone on, or players that you played with that have gave you good advice to help you throughout your career. And, obviously I appreciate every veteran player I've ever played with that have given me advice and helped me out and, you know, got me to this point. And you don't do it by yourself. You have a team that helps you, you know, grow as a player and as a person. And like I said, I feel like I'm at a good spot in my life with my family and as a goalie in this league. And I'm going to do everything I can to continue that.
Jason Greger, TSN 1260.
Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you.
When you talked earlier about just the team learning from your mistakes last year in the playoffs, we hear that often that it's a learning thing. As one of the leaders of the team, what will you be looking for to see that the team has learned from those as the season progresses?
Yeah, obviously with defeat, you know, comes, you know, a growth and maturity and a realization that, you know, these opportunities don't come around every year. So I think obviously we're trying to build something here in Edmonton and I think the whole organization understands where we're kind of at and the growth that we've had in the last few years. So I think there's an excitement around the team and I'm super thrilled to be a part of that. But you know, you don't just go out there and win. There's a way that we went about it this year that I think everyone felt we improved on. Obviously it didn't carry over into the playoffs, but I think there's a lot of valuable lessons learned, you know, in that series against Winnipeg. So hopefully that, you know, majority of the team understands where we're at, understands, you know, the mistakes that we made in the playoffs that kind of cost us the series that, you know, we have to clean up. And I'm sure everyone will come back motivated this year to improve on that.
I know you're a student of the game. You watch a lot. Can you give me your thoughts on what you feel Duncan Keith will add to your team? You know, a veteran player, obviously was an elite defenseman for a long time. What's he going to bring and add to your team that maybe you didn't have?
I think Dunk's he's just a steady guy back there that's, you know, proven elite defenseman. And, you know, he's a veteran guy. He's won Stanley Cups. He's won Norris trophies. He's an elite defenseman that, you know, brings the calmness, you know, to our decor. And, you know, obviously having veteran players is important for the growth of younger guys also. So I think he, you know, he brings a lot of different aspects of, you know, really solidifying our defense on the left side. And you know, also I'm sure he's going to be there to help, you know, younger players too develop. So really excited to have the opportunity to play with him. You know, I had an opportunity to somewhat play with him, I guess at the Olympics and get to know him a little bit. I chatted with him briefly, had a ball game with my son in Penticton last weekend. So had an opportunity to have a little conversation with him. And I know he's, you know, very excited about a fresh start in Edmonton and get an opportunity to play with some of the best players in the world. And I know I'm really excited about the opportunity to play with a player like that.
A couple more questions. Dan Rosen, then Jim Matheson. Go ahead, Dan.
Hey, Mike, congratulations. I'm convinced you're behind there's a green screen or just a painting behind you. It's not real. You know, there's a lot of goalies who are going to be going to the free agent market on Wednesday. You could have been one of them. Was part of this to just avoid that, to just get something done quickly so you're not part of that? Or was this pretty much just team and comfort driven for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point in my career, you don't want to be moving around all over the place to uncharted waters. So I think, you know, my goal was to come back to Edmonton and hopefully finish my career in Edmonton. I really enjoyed playing there. I really enjoyed living there, and I really want to do everything I can to help this team win a Stanley Cup in Edmonton. And I think there'd be no better way to kind of go out than to, you know, bring a Stanley Cup back to the city of Edmonton and kind of finish off my career and in that sense. So I think I never really explored any other options. I've always wanted to be back in Edmonton and feel like it's a, you know, a comfortable spot for my family to be and close to where we live now. So and obviously, you know, the hockey side of it is we're at an exciting, you know, place in Oilers hockey, and this organization is going in the right direction and feel like we're we're very close to being, an elite franchise and have the right players to make that happen. So I've really enjoyed my time at Edmonton so far, and I just want that to continue, obviously, and going to do everything I can to help this team win.
Final question, Jim Matheson.
Just a couple of quick things. You were in Arizona when Shane Doan was there, and Arizona took Shane Doan's kid, Josh, first pick in the second round. What do you remember about Josh being around the rink in Arizona? Yep, they picked him with their first pick in the second round. Yep.
Oh, wow, that's unreal. I did not know that. That's pretty cool.
You remember Josh being around the rink? I presume
I do.
You do.
I remember him being this little dweeb around the rink, this skinny little kid that no, but to be honest, they're an unbelievable family. And, I've learned a lot from Donor over the course of my career, obviously being there for 6 years and watching the way he works and the way he, leads the team and, and being around his family. I remember Josh being this little skinny little kid that worked extremely hard and was just a sweet little boy. And now he's obviously, turned into a man, and he's, I'm sure it's a very exciting time for the Doan family to have their son drafted where his dad played his whole career. And it's an unbelievable story.
One more for you, Mike. Zach Hyman. It looks like the Oilers are going to get Zach Hyman. What's your opinion as a goaltender playing against Zach Hyman?
I hated playing against them, but obviously the rumors are out that that Zach hopefully is going to be an Oiler. I haven't heard anything get released yet, but if that does happen, I mean, he's a tremendous player. Obviously, he was kind of an Oiler killer this year, to be honest. He was, he's a guy that every time he's on the ice, he's out there and he's kind of a driving force on whatever line he's playing on. And he's one of those players that you hate to play against, but you love to have him on your team. So if that happens, obviously we'd be thrilled to have a player like that. And there's not too many players that bring that kind of energy to a hockey team. So hopefully we can land them.